crime activity will go down, but it's not that it goes down. It's just a different focus, I think, for a lot of folks because they are indoors now, and so things change, don't they?
It is a little different focus. I mean, sometimes things are out of sight, out of mind, and for the holidays when we're with family and we're thinking about all positive things, we tend, and not that I would blame anybody, we tend to think about all the best things when sad reality is that at times, oftentimes, there's still crime being committed. There's still danger present, and we're just daily working our way to get our community the best information that we can to have them be vigilant and safe, and also to do things every day that suppress and prevent those crimes from happening. So we're in a holiday season. It sometimes presents itself with a different mindset for criminal activity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, at this time of the year, domestic violence increases, and that's a very, very sad thing. We only hear about it usually after the fact, after it has already occurred. There are ways that people can handle the stresses of the season or of being around people a little bit more than normally they might be that can forestall that, can prevent folks from taking a very, very bad step and making a very, very bad mistake. And I know from a police standpoint, you'd prefer it to be that way, wouldn't you?
I would, and I agree with you that stressors are the root cause of a lot of the ills and evils that we're seeing in our community and nationally. And the holidays, of course, bring out unique stressors that everyone has to feels an increased level of pressure, I believe, through my perspective. And those pressures build and those pressures release themselves. And being indoors with weather being colder, having the joint family stresses of perhaps finances or relationships that are not as positive as some would want during the holiday season lead to some aggressive behaviors that we see and some dangers. And so my plan, the preference of your police department, I believe all police departments, is to prevent negative activity from happening. I mean, we can certainly respond. We can train to respond appropriately. We have wonderful resources here in Indiana County with the Alice Paul House, the Indiana County District Attorney's Office. But at the end of the day, we want a safe community. And if we can be helped having that safe community without working too hard or having to intervene in matters that are negative or harmful, I think everyone succeeds far better. We'll always be here. We'll always be here. But I think our true success is preventing as opposed to responding.
Yeah. And one of the things is the victims of domestic violence often have to make really, really difficult decisions about whether to get out of a situation or to try to stay with it and try to make it work out. If that violence aspect becomes a part of it, then that is time to get away. You don't want to get hurt.
It absolutely is. I can vouch for the Alice Paul House in Indiana County. Not only can I vouch for them, but they're excellent human beings. I know them out there personally. I know the high service level that everyone at the Alice Paul House has, and certainly we would ask anyone that's being victimized or knows someone that's being victimized to reach out for tools, reach out for resources. Perhaps you're not a moment in your life where you're comfortable to step out, but we can start today getting you the resources and the tools to start planning and preparing for your safety. Mm-hmm. And so there are experts in our community. There are wonderful stories of survival and success, and there are terrible stories of tragedy and violence. And this is what we navigate. This is the world that we're in. This is the situation that presents itself to those in our community, and we need to care for them in the best way that we can, whether that's a police resource, whether that's a partner resource, whether that's a prosecution resource, whether that's just saying we are here for whenever you may need us, then we'll be that resource. So it's a full-scale effort in Indiana County for victim safety, and we do it well. And although we can't avoid tragedy or strife, I wish I could. I wish that could be my platform to promise that we'd never encounter that. It can't be, because no one can honestly say that they can do that. So we just need to give ourselves the best opportunity for success, and that's what we're trying to do every day.
Indiana Borough Police Chief Justin Schawl is with us this morning here on Indiana in the Morning as we talk about things that are seasonal in nature, I guess, in a way. And one of the things that is seasonal in nature around these parts, here's IUP with graduation coming up on Saturday. Students will be leaving campus to go on their Christmas break, a lot of them living in off-campus apartments. And so there are things that can be done that might not prevent someone breaking in, but might increase your odds of not having a break-in. What are some of the things that police recommend that people do when they're going to be away from their house for an extended period of time?
Yeah, thank you. Caring for your personal safety and well-being is the best step that we can take. So if you're going to be away from home for any specific period of time, lock your doors and windows. Make sure that you take that extra step to walk around the residence. Make sure that there's not an obvious or easy access point into your home. Also, to our student population who may be planning to be away for a month or more, if there are valuable pieces of property in your home, feel compelled to take those with you. Not that you have to, but certainly it makes good sense that if you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, not to leave cash valuables that are easily transportable in a home that you're not going to occupy. Also, packages. This is a big time of year for delivery of packages, and we want to make sure that you're accounting for the mail and the packages and the Christmas cards and the money that perhaps a family member or relative would be sending you. So check your mail every day. Make plans with neighbors if you're out of town to get your boxes and packages off of your front porch. If you need to stop your mail, stop your mail. And then report suspicious activity. Just because you may be gone for a few months or a month or a few weeks or even a weekend, your neighbor may still be home. It may benefit everyone in the neighborhood to know, hey, my house is going to be unattended. Someone's going to be inside my house letting out a dog, or just be vigilant for anything that you might see suspicious. And we're here in Indiana Borough, and I know this to be true in Indiana County-wide, we're immediately responsive, but we don't always have the information that we need to prevent as immediately as we could. So there's a lot of Ring doorbells out there. There's a lot of video on houses out there. There are a lot of people that are going to be shoveling walks, that are going to be taking walks in the weather. If you see a light on that you think shouldn't be on, report it. If you see footprints around a house that you know isn't occupied, report it. If the screen's laying on the ground outside of a window and you didn't notice that from last week, report it. Give us the best chance to have success for our neighbors. And so vigilance, target hardening, making sure that you're taking steps to remove valuables from your property, all those things are very helpful. Not so much for the police department, but for your own personal safety. And then the police department can always plug in after the fact with our investigative techniques if we need to, if something doesn't work as planned.
A lot of that same advice applies to your vehicle too. And I think one of the things that people neglect to do is look about their car when they get out of it and see if they've left anything in plain view that might be a little bit too tempting for somebody. And another thing they do is they don't lock their car and they've got a gun in the glove box. And I know that just vexes you as a police officer.
Well, it's so dangerous. I mean, gun safety is so important, and we have to be responsible not only in the use of a firearm, but in the storage of our firearm and the transport of our firearm. And again, and we've all done this, and I've done this in my personal life too, not certainly with a firearm, but with change in cup holders, with perhaps car chargers or electronic equipment in plain view. You wake up in the morning and you go outside and your door's unlocked and you think, oh my gosh, this could have been a very easy target for someone, thank goodness. And certainly for us who are perhaps carrying packages in our trunks or in the back of our SUVs, if we can see it through a window and we're not locking our doors, there are those in our society who are intent and searching for opportunities to make someone a victim. And in Indiana Borough and Indiana County, we want to limit those occasions as much as possible, and then we want to be around to catch that if we can in the act, but certainly as a last resort, investigate it in the aftermath. But all in all, we need everyone to be successful. We want everyone to be successful. The safer we are, the better strategies that we have in place to keep ourselves safer, the more responsive that your police department can be to community needs. I think that we all win in those situations. And so officer safety, community success, these are things that I continue to talk about in 2021. I will continue to talk about them in 2022. And it's just a matter of everyone working together for the same success.
Yeah, absolutely. And you make a good point that it's a community effort. We think about the police. Well, the police are there to protect us, but our neighbors can protect us too, simply by having the ability to call the police when they notice something suspicious.
Yeah, your police department is always going to be here. We're here. We're ready to serve. We're visible in the community. We are well trained. But at the end of the day, everyone's success, again, is with everyone working together. And not that we're making this any one specific person's responsibility, but there are certainly tips and resources that I could provide you. This format, I believe, that we're talking about on the radio here once a month, give us an opportunity to prepare each other better for success. and that I think is a total community response to public safety, and that's something that as your chief I certainly am completely supportive of.
Yeah. Now, no police officers have replaced their police caps with Santa caps, right?
Not yet. I haven't seen that yet.
All right. Is that a uniform violation?
It probably would be, but I don't know. I'll save further comment on that because it's the holiday season.
He is Indiana Borough Police Chief Justin Schawl. Hey, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. I always appreciate the opportunity.
Best of holidays.
Thank you. You too.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.